Hello and welcome, beautiful soul. This is Amora Satya Ra, and you are listening to Daily Whispers from Spirit. Together, we return to center, to stillness, to remembrance, guided gently by the messages from the voice of divine oneness, whispering to us to remember who we are in truth. So let us now take a nice, deep breath in, breathing in nice and deep, gentle and soft, allowing that breath to fill the body, feeling the energy of you. And now, as you exhale, release the noise of the world. Just nice and gentle, just release. Relaxed and open to receive. You are here now, and Spirit is speaking with you. The whisper message for today: watch your signs and symbols that surround you always. Listen carefully. Watch with focus to witness all of life speaking to you, as all hold consciousness. The way is given. Realize this takes place in every moment. You are never alone. Cast aside to figure out on your own all of life's mysteries and experiences. Oh no, you are always together as one. As you open to the language of the universe, your life reveals the divine play in what you call magical and mystical ways to awaken you to the truth of your being. Voice of divine oneness. Let's breathe in that message. Allow it to rest within, having received it within the heart. And now let's exhale and move gently to the reflection of this message. The universe is never silent. Nature is always speaking with us. We need to learn how to listen, to open our hearts and minds to the infinite intelligence flowing to and through all of creation. It speaks in feathers, in numbers, in the wind. It sings in repetition, in timing, in the moments that make you pause and wonder, was that for me? Yes, it was. Every sign is a sacred whisper from the divine. Every symbol carries intelligence, love, and guidance. You were never meant to walk this path alone. You were not cast aside to figure it all out. You are part of the all, and the all is forever walking with you. And I have a personal story to share here for a moment. Many years ago, I was a tour guide for sacred meditative journeys in Sedona, Arizona. And I used to take groups out to sacred sites, and we do a meditative guided journey. And as the journey was coming to a close, I would always ask each participant to imagine in their mind an animal and see what comes to mind. Just in an instant, just imagine an animal. And then each have their animal, and I'd complete the meditation. And then on the ride back to drop them at their hotel, I would hand them a book from an author, Stephen Farmer, and the book's title is Spirit Animals. And I'd ask them during the ride just to look up their animal and see what the message is. And then I would hear from the back seat of my car, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This can't be true. Oh my God." And each and every member of the groups, always, that I took out, their animal that came to their mind was the perfect animal to give the message in answer to what questions they were holding, what was going on in their life. It was always spot on information. I say, how could that be? How could that be? And it could be because all of nature is always speaking with us. When we open our heart and allow ourselves to receive the information, it's there and it's accurate. This is not woo-woo stuff. This is nature. This is our interconnectedness with all that is. This is the oneness. This is the information that is available to us in each and every breath. If we're willing to open up to the possibilities, if we're willing to allow ourselves to experience, if we're willing to learn how the language of the universe speaks to us, then we begin to live what we may think of as magical or mystical, but it's actually natural. It is that which is. And that was a fun time. And it was always, always well received and always accurate. So as we open to the sacred language of life, we begin to realize there are no coincidences, only clues, only love, only the mystical play of spirit calling you home. Makes me think of another story. While I was in Sedona taking a group out again, we went to one of the sites in Sedona, and as we're hiking back on the trail, there was a stone on the ground. And as I looked at this stone, the image I saw was a skull. And the student of mine that was behind me tapped me on the shoulder at that same moment. She said, "Amora, do you see that skull?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And I was amazed that she saw what I saw. So I picked up the stone and we left something in its place and took that stone, rather big stone, and I took it home with me. And it's always, and this may sound odd, but I can speak to the stone, and we have conversation. And it was a Valentine's Day, and the stone was sitting on my desk in a center I had in California at the time. And I was going home, and I just asked the stone, I said, "Do you want to come home with me, or do you want to stay in the office?" And the stone said, "I want to come home. I want to be with the salt lamp." And I went, "Salt lamp?" And then I didn't think anything of it, and I just took the stone home. And when I got home, my husband had a package on the table for my Valentine's Day gift. And I looked at it and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that looks like it could be a salt lamp." Opened the package, and sure enough, it was the salt lamp. So this is an example of how when we're open to receive messages, it allows life to become more magical, more expressive, more connected, more attuned, more in the flow of life. So that was a little sharing that I do there. I don't always share, but sometimes when it comes to my mind, someone needs to hear this who's listening to this podcast. So there it is. I laid it out for you. Okay, so let's move on now to the journal prompts for today. Let's ask ourselves, whether we recorded in a journal or just in our mind, what signs or symbols have been repeating in my life lately? What signs or symbols have been repeating in my life lately? Many of us will pay attention when we see numbers, like on a license plate, maybe 555 or 333 or 1111, or we see it on a clock, or we see it. And that is a message to us. It is speaking to us to remember, to open, to be aware, to receive, to know that we are connected. We are divine. So notice what you notice, what numbers or what symbols or feelings that you have that have been repeating in your life. And number 2, how can I become more present to the language of the universe? How can I become more present to the language of the universe? This is a gentle asking of the self. What is it I need to do to open more, to receive the language of the universe? And notice what you notice, what answer you receive. It's your soul in conversation with you. Perhaps it's more self-care, opening to self-love, allowing yourself to play gently with the signs and symbols around you. Ask for a sign or a symbol and see what happens. Notice what you notice, what comes to you, what you feel, what you receive. All is good. Let's move now to the affirmation for today. I am attuned to the language of the universe. All of life speaks to me in love. I am attuned to the language of the universe. All of life speaks to me in love. And as we say these affirmations, we say them with conviction. And as affirmation is to be said with conviction. I am attuned to the language of the universe. All of life speaks to me in love. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And that brings our message for today to a close. And now for the closing prayer. Divine Presence, open my heart and senses to your whispers. Let me walk in awareness. Let me listen without fear. And let me remember always that I am never alone, but forever held in the sacred dialogue of oneness. Amen. And so it is. It is done. May you walk in this day surrounded by love, filled with joy. Thank you for joining me for this day's Daily Whisper. Until tomorrow, go in peace. Bye-bye.